أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. تربية الشخصية القرآنية كيف تكون وما لا تكون. Developing a Qur'anic personality, to be and what not to be. As we enter winter and conclude the holy month of Ramadan, we say al-wida, we say farewell. Everything that begins has an ending. وَيَبَقَى وَجْهُ رَبِّكَ ذُو الْجَلَالِ وَالْإِكْرَامِ. The only thing consistent and permanent, unchanging, unending is the countenance and the presence of Allah. And as we conclude Ramadan and say farewell, I reflect on the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us in the Quran that life is a test. And that kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut, that all life and everything that exists, all of creation will sometime come to an end. Entering the twilight zone of my life myself, I ponder some days that sometime there will be no more sunrises. There will be no more minutes, no hours, no days. And all things that we collected, whether we treasured them or even forgot about them, all of those things will someday be left behind. Our wealth, our fame, our temporal power and authority, all of these will shrivel into irrelevance. Our grudges, our resentments, our boasts, our frustrations, our competition, our jealousies, all of these will finally disappear. The wins and the losses that seemed so important, or that once may have seemed so important, will then be forgotten. And so too, our hopes, our ambitions, our plans will expire. We will leave the world someday, and very important as we come to the end of something, it's a reminder of the temporary nature of our lives. We will leave the world someday, and our existence in this world will seem like a brief crack of light between two long periods of darkness, before birth and then in the grave. But our departure is certain. أَيْنَمَا تَكُونُوا يُدْرِككُمُ الْمَوْتِ. Wherever you are, death will come and fetch you. So if you're not in the winter of your life, not yet, let me remind you that it'll be there much faster than you think and more sooner than you anticipate. Be ever aware of the fact that every day we live is a day further from our birth. Every day we live is a day further from our birth. And every breath we breathe is a breath closer to our death. And as certain as we are about the occurrence of death someday, somewhere, sometime, so uncertain are we about the timing and the place thereof. And we are therefore instructed by the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, act as if every act will be your last act. Pray your prayer as if it will be your last prayer. We recall the admonition of the words that Jibreel alayhi salam told Rasulullah, said, Ya Muhammad, Atani Jibreel, he came to Rasulullah and he said, Ya Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, عِشْ مَا شِئْتَ فَإِنَّكَ مَيِّتْ وَأَحْبِبْ مَنْ شِئْتَ فَإِنَّكَ مُفَارِقَ وَأَعْمَلْ مَا شِئْتَ فَإِنَّكَ مُجْزِئٌ بِهِ. Jibreel alayhi salam told the Rasul and through him to us, live as you please, but you will die someday. Love what you love, you will be separated from it someday. And do as you wish, someday you will be held accountable and paid back for what you have done. So our lives and what we have is only temporary. Ramadan came and Ramadan went. People will come and people will go. Our lives must end, and all our possessions will eventually pass on to others. Our hopes and our plans will fade with our abilities and our days. Eventually, neither our color, nor our gender, neither our wealth, nor our status, nor our position, nor our titles, nor our possessions will really matter. What really will matter is not what we studied, but what we learned. Not who we knew, but for what we were known. Not what we memorized, but for what we will be remembered. Not so much what we said, but what we actually meant. Not how we traveled, but where we went. Not how much we had, but for what it was spent. Not what we got, but what we gave. Not what we liked, but how we loved. Not what we professed, but how we lived. And not how long we lived, but how much good we did. So, let us enhance our faith. Let us value our wealth that we have, whatever it may be. Our knowledge, our possessions, whatever we may have. Let's value our health. Let's appreciate those who are in our lives. Let's help other people with our skills. Let's empower others with our knowledge and our experience. Let's treasure the time that we do have, and let us create memories that will be lasting long after we are gone. Remember the reality that living is temporary. The certainty that life cannot be too long. And the possibility that life may be shorter than we anticipate. All of this should motivate each person of faith and each person of conscience to do what is right, to do what is right in the right manner, to do what is right in the right manner with the right intention. We bring to our close the series Tarbiyatul Shakhsiyatul Qur'aniyah. We bring it to close with the dua of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Allahumma ja'al al-hayata ziyadatan lana fi kulli khair. Oh Allah, let every moment of life be an opportunity for goodness. I thank you. I hope you have been empowered or inspired, or at least learned something. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant that there be transformation for next Ramadan may or may not come. And if it does come, we may or may not be here. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله.